always hate the introduction.
Here she comes to save the day. That
Grover's
is here.
Grover.
She's great
So yeah, I want to go back a little bit. During my time, I actually started on Fiverr.com. And what do you sell on Fiverr? You kind of like play ball with whatever's going to work. One of the things that I started doing to bring in more social media clients was to audit somebody's Facebook account. Because then you can show them exactly what's going wrong. And especially at the point where my audits are today, it's overwhelming. They look at it and they're like, oh my God, how am I ever going to fix it all? But there are some simple things that you can do. And so the reason it kind of starts with a negative, 14 reasons you are failing with social media, is because when I do these audits, I was able to look at it, put all of them next to each other and say, which 14 is everyone committing? Every single person pretty much on the planet is committing these same 14 ones. I'll say 13. One of them is just so brain dumb that I have to put it in here for the people who are committing it, that you just gotta stop right there. But I will tell you what to do about it. And this is the culmination of over 300 audits on social media accounts, ranging from big businesses to small businesses. Before I kind of go into that, why do some companies win while others fail? Everyone in here knows somebody they know from high school, or maybe it's you, or maybe it's a friend of yours, or a competitor that you wish you could just squish into the ground like a little bug. You know someone who's winning so much, and you're like, why can't I just be that way? Why can't I get to that level in business? And you see other people, I just gave this presentation not too long ago to realtors. Realtors are a great example. You'll see them come in and out of the market and they never last past 6 months. They were so motivated and they could just never get to the point where they're winning. So what's the difference? Most companies, especially women, I'm going to harp on women a little bit here, but we don't treat business like pure warfare. So my name is Warfare Marketing, and one of the reasons we rebranded this way is because that is how you have to look at business. Every single time I closed another proposal that I received a new client, just like the game of Risk. Anybody play Risk ever? There we go. Every single time you close a new client, it's like getting a new country. The next time that you go to war, you have more armies to work with. It becomes harder and harder to beat you because every single time that you win another client, you have more resources than the next guy, right? And you have more experience. So when things come at you, you know how to handle them. It's not to say that you can't have allies, but you do need to represent or understand that the sandbox that you're playing in is finite. There's only so many customers. And every time you have another customer over your competitor, you're going to do better the next time around and be able to close more deals. As I was saying, I don't really like introductions. My least favorite part of every webinar or speech is the 15 minutes that somebody drones on about themselves. I was like, you just wasted 15 minutes of my time. All I need to know is like you're smart and stuff and just move on. The strategy stuff comes, I am ex-military intelligence analyst. Nobody laugh at the oxymoron. And I'm also certified in pretty much everything you can find digital marketing, including Elite AP for those of you who even know who that is, what that is. One of my biggest pet peeves is the one thing that I'm asked to talk around every speech that anybody wants me to give, except a recent one. They want social media. And that's really irritating to me greatly the more experience that I have, because this iceberg right here, that's not social media. That giant little, that's probably a mountain in real life. That whole thing that you pretty much see, that's not social media. Social media is like the little guy standing at the top. It's that minuscule of an aspect, especially when we're talking about Facebook organic stuff, which y'all are probably doing. I say this because, do you need it? Yes. But it's also the cherry on top in a lot of different ways. This is necessary. This is why some companies fail and some win, is most people are missing the part they can't see. They see all the success. They see what people are doing out in public. What they don't see is the machine working behind the scenes. All right, very first one is know why. When you jump on social media, and I separate social media down to platforms, so knowing why, whether it's on Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, each one of these is going to have a why you're on there because they're incredibly different platforms and the way they can be utilized is different. Even inside just Facebook, Facebook is so massive and it can handle so many aspects. For those of you who have talked about the customer value journey or marketing strategy with me, Each little aspect that Facebook does can help you in a different way. You need to know why you're using social media. And if you don't, please stop. Because absolutely every single minute of your time is completely wasted. So I had one, we'll call him a potential client, that we're sending out a market analysis for his AdWords today. And he wanted me to answer a question. One of those big questions was Facebook just came out with a massive change. Did anybody hear about that? See some kind of little thing about it? And everyone hit the roof and panicked. I have no idea why. Like, I'm over here on social media. This is actually a change that was a long time coming. I knew back in like November of, not last year, but the year before, that by summer of 2017, there is just no more space organically on social media. So you understand Facebook, at any given point when you log in and you see that feed as a user, not a business, right? You'll get on there to play and see friends and catch up. There's only 300 real estate spots. That's it. 300 things populate. That's your max. And about one in every 6 of those is an ad. So now we're down to even less. Anybody in here have less than 300 friends on Facebook? I've got like 1,100 and I keep mine pruned. So if each one of my friends only posts once a day, that's my 300 spots, and I didn't even take out ads. Most of my friends post more than once a day because it's really important to say that they worked out, or what they ate, or how their dog slept that day, right? It's all good. It's all good. There is no more room on your organic Facebook feed for businesses. That's the big thing. I knew that was coming down by summer. There'd be no more real estate. They happened to word it in such a way that said, we're going to be focusing on the user experience, which is Facebook's entire thing, user experience. If you're providing, as a business, a bad user experience, you get stomped out and pushed away and thrown in the garbage can. The other thing is, they have investors now. If you're a business, you're pay to play. That's just Facebook. It is a developed program. You want attention, you're going to pay for it. The other big change that it became a big thing out of the elections is there's no more Gawker style clickbait. So anybody know kind of what I'm talking about? It's the headline that says, oh my God, you won't believe what this girl did to drop 200 pounds, right? And you click over there and it's something like really benign. You're like, did I just waste my 5 minutes going past all your redirects for this? There is no more of that. If you're a responsible business owner, you shouldn't have been doing that anyway. But don't use clickbait. So you cannot say, if your post says something of the nature of like, you won't believe until you click here, right? Or wait till you see this. Like, those words that are indicative of the Gawker style headline, those are gone. Those are going to get their, Facebook rewards you for what they want, and they don't want that anymore. So if you have that, no more. The other one was, news stations are going to be considered just like business owners too. It's a business page. Why should they get more visibility than, say, any one of you, right? They're not going to have the same organic reach as well. They're losing it. So as long as you provide good content and you understand this very clear concept of knowing why you have organic Facebook posts on your business page, that it is a living website. Depending on which article you read or which study you read, anywhere between 72 and like 96% of every single person who's buying a product or service researches them online first. Anybody here buy something without researching it, especially if it's like over $20, $50, $100, depending where your financial threshold is? You go online first. That's just how it is. And where do people go online to research you? Google, Facebook. That's pretty much the good ones. And if I have actually gone to a business's Facebook page, seen that they hadn't posted since 2014, and it was 2017, I'm like, oh, they're dead. Dead in the water. That's not a business. So am I going to let my daughter, like Grover was mentioning my daughter, she was modeling, and they were looking to sign her, and I was like, yep, nope, not happening. Modeling agency should know how to use a Facebook page. That's just how it is. So please understand, why are you using any platform you're using, not just Facebook, and have a goal with it. Have measurable goals, because what gets measured gets done. And nobody measure likes. That is not a measurement. Ain't nobody care about how many likes you have. Facebook isn't even considered dropping that portion. It is about what is it doing to start a conversation, engagement, and bring your clients one more step closer to revenue. So I kind of mentioned the customer value journey and the marketing strategy. Most of it gets summed up in this. There's absolutely no way, as Grover and David were joking around, I give 3-hour presentations in 30 minutes. I'm ex-military, that's just how I was taught to present. No way I can cover that. That's another day, and when we do growth workshops with Business Growth Network, it's 7 hours, and it's grueling, but it's helpful. But please understand, you must have a full strategy first before you even should bother with social media, or for that matter, any kind of marketing, whatever shiny object somebody throws at you, because if you don't know how it fits into your business strategy, maybe you have everything as engagement and you're missing the other 7. Why would you do something else like Facebook that's building engagement when you've already got that? You need the rest of it. So please understand that anything I say, also consider you need a marketing strategy, and none of the other stuff matters if you don't have one. This is the one I said I'd still throw in there because there's occasionally someone who does it and I have to convert their page and I just want to slap them upside the head. I understand that Facebook does not get the same reach on your business page as a personal page. By having a personal page and operating it as a business, besides the possibility of getting thrown in Facebook jail, and they're cracking down heavily on that, that's the difference between why Twitter was going downhill prior to President Trump and why Facebook succeeds and is becoming a major platform that people trust. There are not fake users. They will shut your business down, your competitors will report you, you will lose everything. Do not have, and plus you only get 5,000 people, and you're just going to annoy them. They're not going to be people that actually want to see your stuff. So make sure you're actually operating on a Facebook business page. Realtors, you have to operate both. You have to have a personal page with a personal strategy, and I would argue if you were trying to be, as David, an aspiring leader in your industry and really trying to climb and be that person that succeeds, and we'll kind of cover that, you need both a personal strategy and a business strategy. The very first one I kind of get into is afraid to promote. I don't care for likes, but at the very beginning, and I'm not even sure if Facebook still does this, you need 50 likes to get what's called insights and measurements on your business page. If people don't know who you are, especially your friends, like who's going to be the first person to hire you? Your friends and family, right? The people who already know, like, and trust you. Do not be afraid to go over to the little button on your business page that says invite your friends and family. They even made it simple for you now. There's a thing that says select all and invite all. They just finally figured out that people were going through and, doing that, clicking the button and scrolling for 1,000 people was kind of awful. They just went ahead and made it simple for you. If your friends and family that are connected with you on Facebook, and we're thinking about when did they get mad? If receiving a little notification, it doesn't even actually go to their phone, it just pops up in the notifications tab. If that annoys them and offends them, that you've asked them to support you in business, they don't need to be your friend anyway. Not just on Facebook, in life. They go away. I feel bad for some of mine because I asked them to like my businesses too, on client pages. So don't be afraid to just ask your friends to like your business page. I would ask that you have a good profile image and a good cover image, and that your about section is complete. That way when they go over and they research it, like, oh, I didn't know he was a realtor. I didn't know he sold health things that clean up the air. They can be like, oh, I know someone who needs that. So make sure it's clean, but they're your friends. Don't be afraid to ask. Number 4, your images suck. Speaking of profile and cover photos, I mean they suck. You can literally go on Fiverr.com, Fiverr with 2 R's at the end, and get a gorgeous cover photo. They'll even probably make you 3 to choose from before they finalize it. $5. Maybe it's really out of the park and you want to get something super nice. $40. I can promise you my graphic design costs more than $40 a picture. Such a simple thing. When somebody is scrolling and they see garbage images, you've got your profile photo and it's all blurry, right? And I can barely even see you, and we won't even discuss, like the one I have in my mind right now, black and white, blurry, and she's both a spa but a gift store, and I see that in the background. I was like, I'm lost. You need to be, when somebody hits that page, they know exactly who you are, what you do, and here's another thing, people are sheep. People are sheep. You get one ask. When they hit that page and they see those images, it should be telling them exactly what you want. Your message should not be unclear. If you go and you get something like Snappa, which is a paid service by the year, I think it's $120. I'm down to using Visme, which I think is the same, but you get more complicated tools, y'all don't want to probably go to there. Typic, I think they used to be free. Now they charge a whopping like $1.99 for their service, maybe $3.99. In Light is almost like Photoshop. You can clear up those pictures, make your face look perfect, no red splotches, ladies, you know what I'm talking about, clear up all that acne, erase the flyaway hairs. It's so expensive compared to Photoshop. It's $5.99, and you own it for life. There's so many applications right there on your phone that you can knock out some good images. Snappa, you don't even have to be a designer. They have templates for you. Canva has templates for you. Visme has templates for you. You just go in there, change them to your brand colors. I will say that's what I like about Visme. It keeps your brand colors there with you. You just pop in, change your colors. It has Snappa and Visme have stock photography included. So I feel like that's me. That's what I'm paying for the $120 a year for. You just knocked out an amazing social media post and you had no graphic design skills. You didn't have to even pay someone a whole $5. Get some good photos. Keep them branded. No messaging. Now, I kind of mentioned like a call to action. Have a clear call to action everywhere, but keep in mind that customer value journey. What is your goal with that platform? If it's an entry level, like people are just becoming aware of you and you're just trying to initially engage them, then you should just have one message. What is it you want people to do? Everyone, like, they'll solve up, what if I can do this? I can do this and I can do this. No, pick one. Pick the one that gets you the best customer. Pick the one that's going to get the customer that's always going to buy. Pick the one that is the biggest give me. I'm going to pick on you as a real estate agent because I just did this speech to real estate agents. I get so frustrated because realtors won't give free comps. I have seen realtors lose business because all they had to do was give free comps. What's that take? 15 minutes? Nothing, right? Mary Tucker is one of our clients. She does free home staging because she used to be an interior designer. Does she do free comps? No, but if you sign up as a seller, you get free home staging, and that's like thousands of dollars. You must add value on the front end, especially the more higher the price ticket you have, the more value on the front end, and you need to put this value everywhere. One of my consulting clients, she does Mary Kay, so she's Mary Kay like at the very top, like whatever director, whatever they call them. She has an entire studio dedicated in her home. Like, this is such a big business for her. Has a whole room dedicated, like an entire studio. Every single product that Mary Kay sells, she's got. You can come in there and try every single makeup, eyeshadow, face cleaner, whatever. And so she's like, so what do I do? I was like, tell them you have a studio they can come see. They can try out absolutely every one of your products just like a department store. On every post, every single freaking post. Post something normal, like whatever conversation you're having, and be like, hey, I've got a studio if you want to come play. Constantly, I have a studio, I have a studio, I have a studio. Mary Tucker, free home staging, free home staging, free home staging. You're never going to forget that call to action. Everywhere, across all platforms. No continuity. Build your brand absolutely freaking everywhere. If I go to your Twitter, your Facebook, your website, the materials you leave behind for a client, everything should be the same. It takes time. We rebranded in March and I'm still getting there because it took us time to, figure out what our own brand would be. So I get that takes time. But the goal should be absolute complete continuity on every single platform. That every platform, given where its stage is in the customer value journey, should have the same messaging. Most of your social media platforms, pretty much all of them, unless you specifically go out of your way, are going to be awareness and engagement at the very bottom. Remember I told you there's a whole glacier underneath? I'm telling you, social media, while absolutely necessary, predominantly, unless you have an advanced strategy, is only the bottom two sections. So that call to action and that branding should all be at the very base level. What do you want someone to do at the very beginning of your funnel? Inconsistent. Get a scheduler and stick to it for at least a year. Just try it out to see. Here's the thing. If you set your stuff, when we do social media, we do it in one entire year. When I do something in 1 year, you sit there and Grover's like, oh, I should post on social media. What he ends up doing is like knocking out 4 posts in 1 day. Well, here's the thing he didn't know. Because he's been silent for 3 months, he ain't getting nothing out of that. Ain't nobody seeing nothing. Because the algorithm has said, oh, he's dead in the water. And he hasn't done anything to build that engagement back up and prime that algorithm. And I won't go too much into the algorithm because we're talking 100-point algebra equation that'll make somebody's head roll, and plus they're kind of secretive about it. There's just some points that are obvious. But being consistent is a huge aspect, not just on your business page, but on your personal page. You have to be consistent. And if Grover wants to build one post, he's going to end up spending anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes building one post. And he's going to spend half the time, okay, what did I post? Maybe I should do this. What should I do this? Should I use Tyvek? Should I do this? Do I need to build it? He's not going to have a template. He's only building one post. He's going to have nothing but links or nothing but images. He's going to have something that's easy because he's going to get it and get frustrated and roll his eyes and be like, whatever. I took a snapshot, post it up. It's not going to be pretty, not going to be cleaned up. If you get a scheduler, Post Planner has one free platform and you can schedule 30 days out for free. Hootsuite, I forget because I don't use it anymore. It's $10 to $15 and you can schedule out, I think, for a good amount of time. I can't remember what their pricing on that is. I use more advanced agency level platforms. The one I'm using now is eClincher, and you can do what's called auto posting. So you can make something, you can put a whole bunch of posts together and just have, hey, one of those posts every single Monday. That way you can start building things out that have continuity. That's actually how we build them, because I can sit down and say every Monday, I want a post that's motivational, but it's specific to social media managers. You know, it's something uplifting. It's got my name on it. It's got my branding colors out there. It's going to build some authority, but it's going to be happy. And we're going to stay away from the hashtag Make Facebook Fun Again, because that's a good way to get bad negative reviews and called a privileged navel gazer. Ask me how I know. Experience? Ask me how I know. However, when I can knock out 52 posts, that's 1 year of Mondays, right? I can knock them out in a lot shorter. I can't even tell you how long it takes me anymore because I have a team that helps me. But it's really easy because the concept is in my head. I can knock out 52 quotes or 52 things that I say 100 million times in these speeches. Like David's rolling his eyes like, heard it, heard it, heard it, heard it. How many more times do I have to hear her say that? If you're saying it, that is a great idea for a little quote post, right? Those little things take me no time. I can put them in a CSV file, send them over to my graphics guy, tell me, like, you know, come up with me a Monday template and make one that says all these things, you know, use our little mascot die, do this, whatever. And he can pump that out for me. And now all I have to do is write the complete copy to go with that quote, put them in this scheduler. I don't even have to worry about what day it's going to go on. I just shove it in that auto scheduler for Mondays, and it's done. And so I can build an entire company's entire year out in a week. And the hardest part of that is the copywriting, because I can't teach someone how to copyright effectively. That's the hard part. The images, links, the ideas on the front side, that's the easy part. But it saves you a lot of time when you can get a scheduler and ensure that you have one post going out. Want to get complicated? Throw in that personal strategy in there because it's important. And now that's the easy one. Post Planner is really good for that one. But you have to be consistent or the algorithm will squish you. The other problem when you don't have that scheduling is you start to vomit out random things that make no sense, that have nothing to do with your business or are off topic. What happens when you're just willy-nilly and you don't have focus, you just start going off topic, right, on your business? You have to have some focus so you don't vomit. And I have a story about that one too. But the best way to make sure that you're always saying something worthwhile, something that's going to support that algorithm, is to ask questions. If we're sitting in a conversation and I'm talking to Grover, and we'll even say my personal page, we're not even going to get business. Hey Grover, I ate steak today. See what I cooked today? My dogs are laying around. They're so cute. And my kids, he got this award. You would never in a million years have that conversation. Because Grover's going to, like, after 3 minutes, he's like, yeah, I'm out. That's when you start.
Look at the time. I must be going.
It's so early. It's only 7, Grover. You said you were going to stay till 2. Yeah, I'm going to stay till 2 talking to that other person, right? Nobody wants to have that conversation, but that's what we do on Facebook. The art of Facebook is conversation and engagement. It's gotten to the point today where marketers, we're not measuring likes or even revenue. When it comes to Facebook, we're asking ourselves, how many conversations have I started? That is an actual KPI now on social media. Cost per engagement, cost per conversation. When you start a conversation with a human being, just like you're at a real networking event, that's where business happens. Don't sell on social media, start conversations. And this goes to your personal side or your business side. Every single post, if you're not asking a question, Throw one in there. I don't care if it's on your personal side or your business side. Try it for 1 month. Try in every single post on your personal page even. When you're typing out something, like, look how cute my dogs are. Find some random question to add in there. And you will start seeing the algorithm giving you a lot more love. You will start learning things. One of our speakers, Business Growth, we did a summit at the beginning of the year. Jason Troy's actually a good friend of mine. I got him to jump on too. And he has a whole game based around it. When you ask these questions that nobody else asks, you build an actual relationship. And you do it on a mass scale. Grover cannot have, he's limited to how many in-person, face-to-face, one-on-one conversations he can have. On social media, we can start 10 conversations at one time. I do this. I actually have a personal Facebook strategy where I ask the dumbest questions in the world, and David's like, yeah. Amen. And my best one so far, 128 comments. I'm really not that popular and interesting, I promise. And the question is just, which would you rather go to battle with, a werewolf, a vampire, or, what am I saying, werewolf, vampire, zombie? That's where it was. People got into massive arguments, just like they would over Republican and Democrat, over what kind of zombie we're talking about. Is it a World War Z zombie, or is it like a Walking Dead zombie? Because there's a big difference, right? Right. One's going to chop my head off. Those simple questions, though, Jason's are a little bit more, they go a little deeper, and I like that. It starts to build a deeper relationship. But even in those dumb questions, I've learned who has businesses. I've learned what really motivates people. I've learned these great conversation topics that if I ever do get in front of them for business, I've got a great conversation topic. Hey, how was your medieval sword fighting? Not kidding, that's a serious one. And we're going to cold pitch them. Conversations are key on Facebook. Don't vomit. Also, don't get link happy. Facebook's like this big corporation now, and they hate everyone else, and their goal in life is like a drug dealer to make sure you never leave Facebook as the user. So when you use a link and you point away from Facebook, have you noticed you don't actually leave Facebook? You stay in the Facebook frame and you just go to that site. They don't even want you to do that. YouTube, if you post a YouTube video instead of posting it organically straight to Facebook, Facebook's going to be like, F YouTube. Start kicking you out. You're not going to get any love. So you now have to post one video to YouTube, one video like directly into the Facebook program because they like videos, they hate YouTube. Every time you point away, now here's the trick. In current search engine optimization for Google, like you want people to find you organically on websites, right? I'm not going to go into that. That's probably a 3-hour conversation, right? There's 4 pillars, and the core pillar that they move to is social media backlinks. So on one side, I'm telling you, don't be link happy because Facebook's going to kick you in the teeth for it. On the other side, for search engine optimization, you need your links in there. So again, do it strategically. Typically with my clients, when I go back on the backside and on the insides, and I see most people are engaging with business pages, typically, this is just a typically, every business is different, it's Thursday and Friday. So I will throw a link I want to promote, so my landing pages, my home page, whatever page that I would like to get that link to, I'll do it on a Thursday. Friday gets a video with a testimonial or something clever or cute, and then I think Sunday or Saturday, it depends, I think Sunday, I will put an outside link. So like for me, Social Media Examiner or, I don't know, New Health Today. Whatever it is that you're like, oh, let me throw something else out there so it's not the me show, that goes on Sunday if it's a link. So be careful with your links. I've gone to do audits on pages and it is nothing but link after link after link. I get it, links are easy, right? It'll even populate the description for you. You ain't gotta write anything. No go. Which brings me, when we talk about sharing, stop being a freaking narcissist. Like people again, back to the conversation with Grover. Grover's gonna leave the conversation if all I do is talk about him. He is no longer a destination page if he just talks about himself. So Business Growth Network, granted we're a slightly different, the idea is to bring business owners together. We can talk about multiple things that promote the business owner. But you're no different. If I'm Rosetta Stone and they do a wonderful job at this, they don't just talk about language software. That would be so boring. Who wants to talk about language software, right? They want the end goal, which is to be a world traveler. Well, Guess what other world travelers care about other than just speaking the language? How about 10 places with the best scuba diving? On your piece of paper, on your napkin, whatever, even right here, if you do nothing else today, write your product in the center, consider who your ideal client is, and write 5 other bubbles around it about other things you can talk about it other than yourself. Rosetta Stone is going to like, countries they can visit and traveling and hotels and, even what to wear when you travel. What are the best airplane practices? These are things that people who learn a different language care about. Every one of those business owners in here, and I'm going to tell the reason I say if you do nothing else, write this one down, is because while I was taught this in my social media certification, this goes your entire business. Because the things that you're talking about over there, those are also your future networking partners. Those are the people that you can network with and start sharing audiences because you share a customer, but you're not competitive. That's your ally. Compartmented. Your personal needs a strategy, and your personal side also needs to have some pillars of its own. So in business, it's not abnormal to say these are the 4 things that we talked about, or I said the topic map 5, right? Your personal life, what matters to you, and kick the rest out. This is where people throw tomatoes. I don't care about the majority of your life. You need to focus on what's important and what you, as an aspiring leader, want to be known for. I get that it's your personal Facebook. I have 3 kids, so family's, one of my 4. I have a set of Huskies now. I'll probably end up with 4 over my lifetime. Huskies and dogs are a big part of my life. I care about women's issues. That's a big part of my life. I'm a business owner. I talk about marketing strategy and stuff. That's my personal page right there. And my stupid questions, but those are so benign, It's my thing now. Those are my 4 things. Notice I didn't say anything about politics, sex, drugs, alcohol, partying. Pick 4. Be known for those. If you do not sell, you're not a sex shop, no reason to be talking about sex. You're maybe a marriage counselor, keep it off. Your drugs, probably not a good idea for anyway. My husband's a criminal defense attorney. He'd love to defend you once you've given the cops all the evidence in the world to prosecute you. Your religion, this is the touchy one. If religion is not a core aspect of who you are, and you are not okay with turning away people who are not hyper-religious in your specific sect, don't talk about it on Facebook. Pick what you want to be. Do you want to be a business owner, or do you want to be highly religious? If you're okay with every single person that you talk to being Jewish and only taking in other Jewish people, hell, make it everything on your personal Facebook page. If not, drop it, because you're going to turn off a good chunk of the audience. And the big one, if you're not in politics, if you are not running, if your entire client base is not one side or the other, drop it. I am ex-military intel. I've actually known and been involved in this kind of stuff. Trust me, it makes me viscerally angry. I have to let it go. It alienates every time I say something 50% of the population. That's how divisive this place is right now. It just is what it is. Drop your politics. Nothing you rant about on Facebook is going to change a damn thing. Not a damn thing. You want to go be a lobbyist? Talk about Facebook, or talk on Facebook about all this garbage. But if not, drop it. Ain't doing your business any good. Real estate agent. The only person I've ever seen be successful by picking up politics is the guy up in McKinney who decided to help Republicans move out of a blue state to a very, very red county in Texas. That's his shtick, though. That is his shtick. Back to some of our call to action. Given everything I've just said, clear the confusion. Not just ongoing, backtrack. Because people be stalking. Go back and peep things that were not appropriate or might divide, delete it. Delete, 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 delete. I have seen business owners get tracked down by personal things they said, not even on their own page, but on posts for their friends, and watch them get 30 bad reviews in 30 minutes. None of them were clients. Go ahead and clean it up. Decide who you want to be, and be that all the way. We missed 12. Oh, it just went right over. Now you get to watch all the sex, drugs, and alcohol again. I should put rock and roll on there, right? Okay. This one, David knows because he probably listened to the event for 8 hours about it. Because I was speaking at an event, and a little twig got up there, and she was talking all this social media, and I'm just looking at her, I'm like, you are like the dumbest person in the world. Why are you even up here? Like, you actually do social media? And I just kind of shut up and I ate my food, waiting for my next speech, because I was speaking 3 times. And then someone asked, well, what do you think about video on social media? What about video on Facebook? Oh, don't worry about video. Like, I never watch video. Nobody watches. That's a waste of your time. Yeah, because you don't know how to do video production, freak. Video's kind of like, yeah, I had to walk out. I'm sorry. I was really angry.
Tell us what you really think.
I agree with you, Tom. Yeah, don't sugarcoat it like that. Give it to us straight.
Hey, I did really good. I didn't curse. I literally had to walk out because I was trying to be respectful of the speaker, and I also walked out and tattled on her and made sure that he never hired her as a speaker again. Facebook will reward you for whatever their thing is that makes the users happy. When they bought Instagram, I could post something directly to Facebook on a business page and directly to Instagram, but then share it to my Facebook page, and the post from Instagram to Facebook would get 7 times more play than the one direct to Facebook. They love video. When I said they wanted to declare Carthage on YouTube, I meant it. Screw them. They want to be the video provider. And you can see them in the past year and the changes they've made that shows this. When you post and upload organic video, they love it. That will get more organic reach. And then they declared Carthage on Snapchat. So now, that's the different one. What's the one? I don't even know the name of it.
Periscope.
Periscope. So now they have Facebook Live that we're on. Exactly. Nobody knows Periscope anymore. They got a little big, started getting attention. It was like, Facebook's like, no, stop, you're gone. No one knows Periscope anymore. Facebook took all the problems they had, took all the thing that was great, and was like, here we go, Facebook Live. If you do nothing, do Facebook Live once a day until you figure out what you need to talk about. Because Facebook loves it. Facebook wants you to share a story. When I go live on my personal page, every single person I know gets a notification. If I post to my story because they hate Snapchat and they want to squish Snapchat too, you get a notification because I shared my story. I find that a little annoying, but...
So on your business page, can you actually go live?
Yep. On every single page, every group, you can go live at this point. Now, there are some things at any given point in time that Facebook will beta roll out to some people, but not others. Usually the marketers and the heavy users get it first because we will trash and stomp right all over it and figure out every single thing that's wrong and complain about it very loudly. But everyone has Facebook Live. We're right now doing Facebook Live from a Facebook business page. The problem is you cannot do it from the Facebook application on your phone. You have to get another one called Pages. Pages operates your business page. Did that one. Final one, cheap. Facebook is a developed platform. Bottom line. It's not Periscope. It's not Blab, which died a short, painful death. It's developed. You're going to have to pay to play big. You have to have the organic strategy behind it to make sure that when people go there that you're alive and living. But if you want any real reach, you're going to have to pay for it. This is, like I said, I'm ex-military. This is the Army Corps of Engineers, and they build stuff. One of the things they do very well is build bridges to get tanks from point A to point B. Everyone in here is sitting here for a reason except David and maybe Grover. Grover just likes to pick on me. David too. There's something missing in your business or you would not be here today. My problem is build one entire bridge. I don't care if it's what I'm saying or what any other social media person says or whatever marketing person or salesperson or business consultant says. Pick one bridge and build it completely before you go to the next one. Your bridge may not be pretty. Nobody wants that in their backyard, but it gets a tank from point A to point B. You can work on building the Golden Gate after you've got something that gets cars across the bridge, right? Build one bridge, come back, build another one, because what most people do is the shiny object thing. They get something and they run halfway through it and then they see something else and they're like, ooh, shiny! And they build another bridge and they end up with 20 half-built bridges and they still can't get to the other side. Does that make sense to anyone? Anybody ever feel like that?
Squirrel.
Squirrel! I'm a big squirrel guy. Girl, whatever. Build one bridge. Like I said, I don't care what bridge it is. It does not have to be one of my bridges. Build one goddamn bridge. And you will notice as soon as you start doing this, I'm speaking from experience, wonderful, blissful things happen. When I go back and I said what makes one fail and one succeed, This is a big one. We chase little things and we don't do it all the way. We don't take it to the end zone and we fail because we don't have any way to get to the other side. Questions? Any questions?
Can I make a comment?
No. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you so much for doing this because so many people.
You would stay over here on camera? I'm not joking.
I have no problem doing it.
What's your name?
My name is Paula Samalo. I have a social media company. And I just want to thank you so much because everything you said just hit it. And everybody needs to know this because there is so much more to it, but there's a foundation to all this. You just need to ask those questions. So,
Thank you.
anyway, thank you.
Any questions?
Where are you at?
Dallas and Frisco. But I have global clients, so really, I talk 100 miles per minute, and that's all.
3 hours to 30, 100 miles a minute.
All right, I'll let Grover take it over.
Thank you, Jenna. That was good.
Miss my callback.
Being on LinkedIn, there's a lot of benefits. And I have been teaching with this number that 35% have benefited from being on LinkedIn. That number actually is now growing up to 60%. I didn't put that number on here yet until I see the actual details of